Say yes, or your little brother dies in 7 minutes. Those were the first words Nora heard when she woke up with ropes on her hands and blood on her dress. She wasn't dreaming. This was real. She was sitting on the floor in a dirty hall, and 5 men were standing in front of her. One holding a ring, one holding a gun, and the other holding her stepmother's phone. Nora was only 18, but in that moment, she stopped being a girl. One of the men kicked a coffin lying near the corner and shouted, "Wake him up! His bride is ready." The coffin opened, and the man inside wasn't dead. He was breathing. His neck was chained. His eyes were swollen shut. And on his chest, someone had carved the words, "Her husband." Nora started screaming. She begged. She cried. She called her stepmother. But the woman who raised her only laughed through the phone and said, "The boy you're crying for? Your brother? He's in the boot of my car. So do what they say. Marry the chained man, or I'll burn your biological brother alive." Nora's hands were shaking as they untied her. She couldn't feel her fingers anymore. It was like her body had shut down just to protect her from the nightmare she was standing in. She looked again at the man in the coffin. He wasn't moving now, just lying there like some kind of broken, breathing statue. His shirt was torn, his wrists bruised. His lips were dry and cracked like someone who hadn't tasted water in days. A priest entered, or someone pretending to be one. His robe was filthy. His Bible looked fake. He didn't even open it. "Do you, Nora, take this man, this prisoner, to be your husband?" he asked casually, like he was ordering lunch. Nora looked at the men. One pointed the gun at her head. Another played a video of her little brother screaming inside a locked car. She nodded. Slowly. Her lips barely moved. "Yes." They pulled her close and forced her to hold the chained man's hand. The priest said a few nonsense words. Then a ring was shoved on her finger. A cold one. Then the priest closed the Bible and said, "You may now keep silent, for this marriage is not from earth." What did that even mean? Before she could even breathe, someone jabbed a needle into her arm. Her body dropped. Everything faded. Nora woke up 14 hours later. This time, she wasn't in the dirty hall. She was lying on a wide bed. In a mansion. A real one. White curtains. Clean marble floors. Gold on the ceiling. She sat up slowly, confused, panicked. Then the door opened. A man in black walked in. Not the chained man. This one had a scar on his left eye. He looked like a soldier. Cold. Silent. He placed a tray of food on the bed and said only one sentence. "He's awake. And he asked to see you." Nora didn't know what to say. Who was awake? She followed the man down a long hallway. At the end, a door was opened. And there he was. The chained man. But this time, he wasn't in chains. He was standing. He was clean. His wounds were dressed. And he was crying. "You saved me," he whispered, his voice hoarse but deep. Nora just stood there. He walked toward her slowly. "I know what they told you. I know what they made you do. But I swear to you, Nora, I'm not your punishment. I am your protection." Her heart stopped. What do you mean?" He looked her dead in the eye and said, "That woman you call stepmother killed your real mother. And I saw it." Nora froze. "You saw what?" Her voice was barely above a whisper. The man stepped closer. "Your stepmother murdered your real mother and blamed the illness." He spoke with calm pain, like someone who had waited too long to speak. "I was there, Nora. I watched it happen. And the only reason I'm still alive is because I swore never to speak, or she'd burn me the same way." Nora backed away, heart pounding like a drum. "You're lying. You're just saying this because they made me marry you." But the man pulled something from his pocket. A photo. It was old, torn, burnt at the edges. In the photo, her real mother stood smiling, holding a baby girl, Nora. And beside them, almost hidden in the background, was him, the chained man, but much younger. "My name is Leo," he said. Your mother raised me after my parents died. I was like a son to her, like your brother. But the moment she married that man, your stepfather, everything changed. Nora's legs buckled. No, this isn't happening. Leo gently sat her down on the edge of the bed. They lied to you, Nora. About everything. Your stepmother isn't just evil. She's dangerous. And your brother? He's not even missing. Nora's eyes shot open. What? Leo looked her straight in the face. That video they showed you of him trapped in a boot? That wasn't real. That was an old video. I saw him just 3 days ago. Alive. Safe. Laughing. Your stepmother used the video to control you. Tears streamed down Nora's face. Her lips trembled. Why me? What did I ever do to deserve this? Leo knelt in front of her. Because of your inheritance. The one you don't even know exists. Your real mother was a billionaire, Nora. And you were her only legal child. Nora's heart stopped. Billionaire. Leo nodded. Everything, her companies, lands, properties. Everything was in your name. But you were too young to know. So your stepmother tried to take it all. But your mother made sure that the only way they could unlock it was if you got married. Nora gasped. Leo continued. They needed to marry you off to anyone to gain access. But they never expected you to be forced to marry me, the only person who knew the truth. And now they've lost control. Nora felt like the floor was spinning beneath her. She stood up, wiped her tears, then looked at Leo with a trembling voice. So, I married a man in chains. And somehow, it became the key to my life. Leo smiled weakly. No, Nora, not just your life. Your freedom. Your revenge. Your legacy. But before she could answer, the door burst open. A guard stormed in, panic written all over his face. They're here, he shouted. Your stepmother found out he's awake. She's coming, and she's not coming alone. Leo stood up instantly. We have to leave. Now. Nora's legs wouldn't move. Where do we go? Leo grabbed her hand. To the one place she'll never look. The house where your mother died. Nora's heart dropped. The house where her mother died? She had been told it was destroyed in a fire 10 years ago. Leo turned to her and whispered. What they burned wasn't just your mother. They buried something else there. Something she left behind. Something meant for you. Nora had never felt so empty. She sat quietly in the back seat of the stolen car, staring at her shaking hands. Leo drove with one hand. The other held a tiny GPS with a flashing red dot. We're almost there, he said. But his voice sounded far away. Nora kept hearing her stepmother's voice in her head. Say yes, or your little brother dies in 7 minutes. She closed her eyes. She remembered the coffin, the chains, the wedding ring forced onto her finger while tears soaked her dress. And now this man, Leo, the same man she married by force, says he's her mother's hidden son? Says he's the only one who knows the truth? Her heart refused to believe it. But something in his eyes, something in the way he looked at her, like someone who had lost everything. She didn't trust him, but she feared everyone else more. Suddenly, Leo slowed down and pulled the car into a bushy, broken road. Is this it? She asked quietly. He nodded. This is where your mother was burned alive. Nora's stomach twisted. The place looked like something from a horror movie. The house was old, almost eaten by time. Vines had swallowed the roof. The windows were shattered. A black crow sat on what used to be the front door. I don't want to go in, she whispered. Leo looked at her. She left you something here. If we don't find it before they find us, everything dies with this house. Reluctantly, she stepped out of the car. As they approached the door, Nora's chest tightened. Her legs shook. Her hands were cold. Leo kicked the old wood gently. Creaking. The door opened slowly. The smell inside punched her nose, smoke, death, and something else, like burnt dreams. They entered slowly. The walls were covered with burnt family portraits, one of them half melted. It was her mother, holding baby Nora. And again in the corner stood a boy, Leo. Nora touched the picture and burst into silent tears. "I don't remember this house." "That's what they wanted," Leo said. "They made you forget." Suddenly, they heard a creak upstairs. Both froze. "Was that?" Nora whispered. Leo pulled her behind a shelf and held her mouth. Footsteps. Upstairs. Slow. Heavy. Then a voice. "Find the file. Burn everything else. If they're here, kill them both." Nora's heart stopped. It was her stepmother's voice. She was inside the house. "They found us," Nora whispered in panic. Leo signaled her to follow him silently through the back. But as they moved, Nora's eyes caught something. A floorboard slightly lifted, like someone had once hidden something under it. She knelt and pushed it open. Inside was a metal box. Rusted. She opened it and saw a journal, a flash drive, and a letter with her name on it. Before she could read, Leo yanked her up. "They're coming. Run." They dashed through the back door, but it was too late. A tall man stood there, gun in hand. He pointed it at Leo. "You should have stayed in chains, boy." Bang! The gun fired. Nora screamed. Leo fell beside her, blood leaking from his shoulder. She held him, shaking. "No, no, no, please don't die, please don't." Leo coughed. "Take the box, go without me." Nora cried, refusing. But the gunman grabbed her. "You're not going anywhere." Just then, boom. A loud explosion from inside the house shook the ground. Smoke blasted out the windows. "What was that?" the gunman shouted, turning. Nora took the chance, bit his hand, kicked his leg, and grabbed Leo's hand. Together, bleeding, crying, and broken, they disappeared into the forest behind the house. Later that night, in a dirty abandoned school building, Nora sat beside Leo as he fainted from the blood loss. She opened the letter in the box. It was her mother's handwriting. "If you are reading this, it means they failed to kill you. Nora, you are stronger than they ever knew. The man in chains is your brother in love, not in blood. He was born from pain. But heaven tied your lives together for a reason. Inside the flash drive is the truth. And once you watch it, there is no going back. The war has just begun." Nora sat in the corner of the abandoned classroom, holding Leo's bloody hand in one arm and the flash drive in the other. His eyes were half closed. He had lost so much blood. But he still whispered, "Play the video. Let the truth breathe. Let your mother speak." Tears blurred her vision as she opened her small laptop. The flash drive clicked in. A single file showed, "If I die today, for Nora." She double-clicked. The screen lit up with a woman's face, tired, pale, and crying. It was her mother. She looked into the camera and whispered, "My daughter, I hope you find this. If you do, it means I'm gone," and she did it. "The woman you call stepmother. Her name is Clara. But long ago, she used to be my best friend. We grew up together, until everything changed." The woman paused and wiped her tears. Clara was barren. The doctors told her she could never have children. But I did. I had you. And she hated me for it. She said it wasn't fair. That I didn't deserve to be a mother while she was empty. I didn't know her heart had become dark until I caught her trying to poison your milk. You were just 3 years old." Nora gasped. She covered her mouth in horror. The video continued. "I kicked her out of our lives. I thought I was safe. But I didn't know. She had joined something dangerous. A secret group of women who made blood sacrifices to get children and power. She gave them my name, and they came for me. That night, they locked me in the same house you're sitting in now, and burned me alive. But before the fire reached me, I whispered this prayer. God, if I die, let my daughter find truth. Let heaven avenge me. Let the chains used to destroy me become the chains that protect her." The screen glitched. Then her mother smiled one last time. "Your father didn't die in a car accident. Clara killed him too. so no one would protect you. But someone did. The boy she locked in chains. He is the son of one of her victims. He was meant to die in her ritual, but God kept him alive. He is your answer. Trust him, and when the time comes, expose her. Let the world see her face. The video ended. Nora sat frozen, shaking, breathless. Leo, barely conscious, whispered, "She did all that because she couldn't have kids?" Nora nodded slowly. "She killed my whole family, just to feel less alone." And in that moment, something inside Nora died. And something else was born. A storm. 2 weeks later, the courtroom was packed. Reporters, cameras, police. Everyone had come to watch the trial of Clara Weston, the billionaire widow and respected philanthropist now accused of ritual killings, arson, attempted murder, and child abuse. But the real moment people came for was when Nora walked in, dressed in white, calm, and holding the flash drive. She plugged it into the screen, and the courtroom heard her mother's voice. They heard everything. Clara tried to speak. She tried to lie. She screamed. She said Nora was mad. But the jury had already decided. We find the defendant guilty on all charges. The judge banged the gavel. You are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without parole and permanent isolation under federal custody. Clara collapsed. As they dragged her out, she locked eyes with Nora and screamed, "You were supposed to die too." I made sure. Nora didn't flinch. She only replied, "Heaven had other plans." 3 months later, Leo stood beside a lake. His wounds had healed. His chains were gone. But he still wore one around his neck, a small silver link from the cuffs they forced on him. He called it his freedom medal. Nora walked up beside him. She held a box in her hand. "It's time," she said. Together, they opened the box and scattered her mother's ashes into the lake. The wind blew softly, and for the first time in years, Nora smiled. Leo turned to her. "You know, you saved me too." She looked up, eyes soft. "You were never just the man in chains, Leo. You were the answer to a prayer I didn't know I was saying." And under the setting sun, he reached for her hand. No pressure, no fear, just two broken people, finally whole. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to get updated for more interesting stories.